Morning, lads. Welcome to flight school. You will firstly go through some pre-flight instructions on the ground. You'll then take off and follow your flight leader. Just follow his directions, and try not to collide with his plane. You will then transfer into a bomber, in order to practice taking reconnaissance photographs. Then it's back to the fighter, where you'll attempt to attack some stationary targets, supply columns, balloons, and a windsock, which represents an aerial enemy adversary. The windsock is the mock enemy, not the plane towing it. If successful, you will also go on to destroy various mock flak positions, using the latest bombs at our disposal. Finally, you'll fly a simulated escort mission. Only the best pupils will be offered a bonus task to really test your nerves and confidence in your machines. Just a quick pass through the hangars and a flight along the railway line while keeping on your flight leader's tail. To end, you'll land at the nearby airport. Well, it's as simple as that, chaps. Off you go. Good luck. And do try to bring the plane back in one piece. Settle down, gentlemen. Right then. Butch, this is your first combat mission, so be a good lad and try to keep your plane in one piece. Recruits we have lots of, but good planes is another matter. Right. Your first task will be to patrol the surrounding area with Jenkins. Then team up with the reconnaissance plane above the railway station. Let's keep the Hun off his back long enough for him to do his job, shall we? From there, head to the nearby town, where you should see enemy supply convoys in the area. Try to destroy the bridges to cut off their movement, which will in turn give you more time to finish them off. Then head back to the railway station, where you'll fly your first reconnaissance photograph assignment. Information on the targets is invaluable for our bombers, so make each photograph count, all right? Once that's done, head out north. You should find an enemy artillery battery there with its observation balloons on scout. From this location they can see our airfield, you see, which is obviously their main target and a bit of a bother, really, what with shells possibly landing any time and all. See if you can do something about that, will you? Right, after that, return to the front line and take part in the assault. Then, help bring our bombers home safely. On your return to base, see if you spot any damaged enemy planes in trouble. If so, try to capture them. Sometimes the newer Hun pilots get a bit lost, you see, and end up near our base. Trouble is, we usually just shoot them down rather hastily. So if you can, just fly near the enemy plane. It should be enough to give the enemy pilot a good fright and convince him to land here. It may give us an advantage to see what new technology they're using. Right, well, that wraps it up for today's business. Give them a good show, lads. All right, let's get started, shall we? Reports indicate that the enemy has begun to move their heavy artillery in preparation for an offensive. Our intelligence is particularly concerned about the whereabouts of 3 Big Bertha cannons in the area. Now, I don't need to tell you how the firepower from these cannons will be of great assistance to the Hun offensive. You must discover their locations, so we can direct our bombers to take them out. Fly to the suspected whereabouts and search the area. You'll need to be fairly low in order to see the cannons. The Hun will have them well hidden. If you succeed, and you will succeed, give the chaps in the bombers a hand in destroying them. Now, to further disrupt the enemy, bomb the 2 bridges between the town and the railway station. Along the way, you may need to help out the bombers by wiping out anti-aircraft defences on the ground. We have reports of a new weapon in the area. Surveillance balloons are now being towed about by vehicles, making them even more of a nuisance for our boys on the ground. Destroy them on sight. Nearby, you should come across a static group of balloons. These will also need to be dealt with. Now, there's also been a report of a new German fighter in production, the Eindecker 3 type. Be on your guard, as we don't yet know its full capabilities. If you do run into one, see what information you can find out by observing it in flight. Right. Well, it's a full-packed day, chaps. Good luck and Godspeed. Okay, lads, let's get started. Butch, you'll need to patrol the front line and destroy any enemy recon planes and supply convoys you come across. Also, our artillery boys are testing a new spotting balloon nearby. Let's make sure they don't come to any harm, all right? Your next assignment will be a reconnaissance flight above the enemy bunker and their HQ in the town. The Hun won't sit around waiting for you to take photos, so keep your wits about you, make those photos count, and then move on as quickly as possible. After that, destroy the anti-aircraft emplacements on the front line and near the railway station. From this location, you will transfer to a bomber. Now, this is where your expertise with a machine gun will be put to good use. Intelligence has also given us details that a group of new ground-based armoured units are in this area. Tanks. Now, these beasts are really capable of doing a number on our chaps on the ground. Intelligence believes that your machine guns will be useless on them. Only bombs will destroy these things. Let's give them a taste of what we carry, and see how they like it. More reports are also coming in that the enemy is constructing something in a nearby town. Keep harassing the enemy trains and supply convoys until we can find out what they're doing. Also, word from the front line is coming in about Coleman being shot down. Now, we know his location, so pick him up and bring him back safely. In that area, you may also come across enemy staff vehicle convoys. You know what to do. For your last objective, destroy the enemy armoured train. Bullets will also be useless here. Only bombs will do the trick. Right. Well, that wraps it up for today. Go get them, gentlemen. Righto, let's begin, shall we? To start, patrol the boundaries of the Allied fortress. Once this is done, swap your fighter for a reconnaissance plane, and help provide our bombers with better information on their targets. On the way back, destroy any enemy artillery units on sight. There have been reports that the enemy is starting to receive a new flying machine at some bases nearby, the Fitch. Thanks to intelligence reports, your task is to destroy the shipment of these new planes. Intelligence also believes our defences are exposed and may come under sudden attack. If so, your objective will be to help out and destroy the enemy artillery positions, and also escort our bombers on duty. Don't forget to give a helping hand to any other Allied planes in trouble. Infantry reported some enemy activity around the southwest train junction, too. Take a reconnaissance photograph of the area, and then deliver it to the fortress. Your final task will be to help defend some of our positions from the ground. All hands to the pump, as it were. Land your plane nearby and man the first machine gun turret that's available. Now get to it. All right, gentlemen, this one is urgent, so let's get right to it, shall we? The enemy is preparing for an attack on our main fortress. We must not lose this one. You are to destroy all attacking bombers and the enemy artillery battery that is shelling our fortresses. Then seek out and identify the type of fortified rail-based artillery guns that the enemy is using. Your next task is to protect our bombers and regain control of the skies over our main fortress. Prevent any enemy bombers from taking part in a counter-strike. Once this is done, we must turn our attention to the enemy railway fortress, which still poses an immediate threat to us. There's no time to lose, chaps. Dismissed. Give 'em hell. Right, gentlemen, let's settle in, please. Now, your first task will be to intercept a small enemy bomber group. On the way to your next task, we're expecting heavy ground activity. Do your best to stop them. If your plane is damaged, you may land and use our armoured train that's stationed in the area. You will occupy a machine gun post and help out by destroying the main defences of the enemy-occupied railway station. There have been reports of a damaged enemy airship that's been downed nearby and is now under repair. Your task will be to make sure this ship never flies again. There should be a fighter nearby that I know you can make good use of for this purpose. In order to slow the enemy momentum, We'll be continuing our regular raids against their factories, supply and troop convoys. Let's make our mark on their ground units. Finally, we have reports of an enemy armoured train moving in the area. Let's make sure it doesn't get away. OK, a full day ahead, chaps. Let's make the most of it. Good luck. OK, listen up, chaps. Your first task will be to transport an intelligence officer to the neighbouring airfield. More reports are coming in of enemy tanks refuelling in that area. Keep an eye out for this and do what damage you can. Next will be to fly to the valley to find and take down an enemy airship. Butch, you'll not have any backup for this flight, so be careful. For the next task, you'll transfer to a recon plane and take pictures of the enemy fortified HQ, affectionately dubbed the Pimple, and the nearby railway station. In this area, there have also been reports of an enemy tank column and fuel trucks moving nearby. Let's take advantage of this and give the Hun a good pounding, shall we? The Allied-controlled dam nearby is starting to draw attention from the enemy. You may be called on to help defend it by using a gun turret on top of the dam. All hands to the pump, as it were. Keep an eye out for any enemy supply trains en route. Intel suggests the enemy have sent 3 airships to bomb the dam. Your task is to make sure this does not happen. OK. Good hunting, gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen. Let's get right to it, shall we? Your immediate task is to protect the Allied-held dam from the waves of attacking enemy planes. And be warned they will be attacking in force. Nearby, our engineers are waiting for some important cargo. Give any possible support to our supply column. They must reach their destination. Enemy observation balloons will need to be destroyed to severely limit their reconnaissance capabilities. Also in the area, there have been reports of a new enemy airship base. Find it and wipe it out, including any airships nearby. Your next task will be to help our infantry on the ground. We must destroy the huge advancement of enemy attackers, and fast. Finally, we strike and attack the Pimple in a coordinated assault. If things go wrong, be prepared to destroy the dam and flood the valley to prevent the Hun from advancing. Well, that's all, gentlemen. Godspeed. Gentlemen, let's settle down, please. Right, welcome to Ypres. This airfield is situated at the very edge of the cliff. We have some narrow valleys and some demanding landscapes for you all to negotiate, so be careful. Now for your missions. Butch, your first task will be to destroy the enemy positions on the rocky outcrop and then the small enemy railway junction. We've had reports of the enemy doing recon missions nearby. We must stop them from getting back to their base with any information. See to it that the Hun command never get that counsel. Your next task will be in a reconnaissance plane. You'll need to take photographs of various strategic targets. However, this could be quite a challenge, as more reports are coming in about a German ace in the area, name of Effers. Be careful if confronting him. For the majority of this mission, you'll be able to engage opportune targets at will. Pick your targets carefully, though. There have also been reports of 2 airships and some bombers in the area. Bring them down for good. Your next task will be to destroy strategic targets in the largest valley, and the anti-aircraft guns protecting the bridge. More reports have also come in suggesting that the enemy have scrambled a few bombers to wipe out our base. This must not happen. Make sure no enemy bombers get through. Your last task will make use of your expertise in disposing of enemy armoured train, which will be heading towards our HQ. You'll be equipped with the latest bombs to help you defeat this train. Well, that's it. Go to it, lads. Righto, we're a bit pressed for time, so let's get the briefing underway. Reports have come in that the enemy is preparing to attack our base imminently. We must protect it at all costs and crush all attackers. Failure in this is not an option, gentlemen. Once you have successfully repelled the enemy, you are to go after their base. Your next task will be to destroy a group of enemy tanks and the railway bridges nearby. Let's hope we hit some enemy trains as a bonus, eh? Fresh reports are also coming in that the enemy may scramble another bomber wing. You cannot let them through. In addition, Allied infantry have captured an enemy pilot, and he has, shall we say, disclosed information about an airship base nearby. Your mission is to find it and wipe out that base. Oh, another enemy ace in the area has emerged from the ranks, Rotman. Watch out for him. Your last task will be to completely destroy the huge enemy fortified base with its heavy air and ground defences. A piece of cake, I'm sure. OK, hop to it, lads, and Godspeed. All right, gentlemen, settle in, please. Right. Your first task for today will be to provide support for the infantry that'll be trying to take one of the enemy industrial complexes. Once the enemy complex has been seized, you're to provide support and defend it from any enemy bombers. We assume the Hun would rather destroy it than let us have it. From there, move on to the Allied armoured train and help with the attack at the second industrial complex nearby. Now, with these positions secured, you'll transfer from your fighter to a reconnaissance aeroplane. Your main objectives will then be to take some photographs and help our bombers to pinpoint and destroy the main enemy complex and artillery batteries. Intelligence reports indicate that the enemy may try to send a group of bombers and airships to eliminate these new positions. You must stop this attack. Intelligence has also found the whereabouts of the 2 Dora supercannons, capable of using dangerous chemical warheads. We must destroy them before they do any more damage to our defences. The enemy is on the run, gentlemen. Let's help them get a move on and give them a good kick up the backside. Good hunting. Gentlemen, today we have an opportunity to make history and end this war. The chemical attacks that we've all sustained recently could soon be at an end. Intelligence has found one of their chemical research facilities. Your task is to escort the Allied bombers that will pound the complex into the ground. Now, at the complex there might be important documents about the chemicals. We must make sure that they do not get into anyone else's hands. Your next task will be to destroy the main enemy airfield and bombers stationed there. Now, the best way to do this will be to launch a surprise attack and destroy as many of their planes in the hangars before they take off. There are rumours that the main construction site of the Dora supergun is in the eastern complex. We need to do a recon in order to plan a precise attack. Moreover, reconnaissance confirmed that the main research centre and gas manufacturing site is in the old quarry. You'll need to visit this location and see to it that these structures no longer pose any threat to us. The 2 airships and their base have also been tracked down. Your objective is to destroy the ships and their base. With those tasks complete, victory will be at hand, chaps. The only task left will be to level the Dora factory and to destroy the final Dora cannon. Now you're to expect heavy fighter cover, as they'll be making a last desperate defence, so beware. Butch, your final task will be to face the legendary enemy ace Max. He's in the area and looking for you. Up to now we've had bigger problems to think about with the war effort and all, but I think it's about time you show that Hun just what we're all about, eh? Oh, and by the by, we have reports that he's able to change planes in the blink of an eye, so you'll need to keep your wits about you to keep track of him. Right, best of luck. We'll be rooting for you, and the beers are on me when you get back, eh? Go get 'em, lads.